Pastor Diana. Welcome to a daily devotion. I'm so glad you've paused in the midst of your day to spend some time with God and to consider how God is calling you and how God is at work in your life. Today we continue our journey through walking in the footsteps of Jesus, and as we consider the places that Jesus went. This week we're focusing on the Sea of Galilee and some of the amazing, miraculous, surprising, and unusual things that happened there. Now, I've never been fortunate enough to go to Israel, but my husband John had the privilege of being there for 3 weeks, helping in an archaeological dig at a place called Megiddo when we were in divinity school. And we'd only been dating about a year at this time, and being separated for 3 weeks was pretty hard. And this was in 2008, I believe, or 2007, I can't remember. Anyway, so there wasn't FaceTime, there wasn't Skype, there wasn't a lot of instantaneous communication. So we really spent 3 weeks, maybe on email or two, but really not talking to each other. Well, John came back and he shared with me pictures of everything, and he even brought me a gift, which I absolutely love. I'm showing you a picture of it now, and this gift is a chalice and paten, which is the fancy words for a cup and plate, for communion. And on it is the fish and the loaves. And this is from the story of Jesus feeding the 5,000. And the reason it's so special is that it is trying to replicate one of John's favorite places on the Sea of Galilee, which is where this is, which is a beautiful mosaic of fishes and loaves, of sharing in this miracle. And this moved him so much that he had to do something to share it with me. And I bet you might have noticed I use this chalice and paten a lot, which means I get to share it with others. And so let's read this story about sharing. Many people saw them leaving and recognized them. So they ran ahead of all the cities and arrived before them. When Jesus arrived and saw a large crowd, he had compassion for them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd. Then he began to teach them many things. Late in the day, his disciples came to him and said, "This is an isolated place, and it's already late in the day. Send them away so that they can go to the surrounding countryside and villages and buy something to eat for themselves." He replied, "You give them something to eat." But they said to him, "Should we go off and buy bread worth almost 8 months' pay and give it to them to eat?" He said to them, "How much bread do you have? Take a look." After checking, they said, 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. He directed the disciples to seat all the people in groups as though they were having a banquet on the green grass. They then sat down in groups of hundreds and fifties. He took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, looked up to heaven, blessed them, broke the loaves into pieces, and gave them to his disciples to set out before the people. He also divided the 2 fish among them. Everyone ate until they were full. They filled 12 baskets with the leftover pieces of bread and fish. About 5,000 had eaten. You know, that is an amazing story. And it's one that's told in all of the Gospels of Jesus' miracle, of this depiction of what a life with God means. It means that there is enough, that there is abundance, that when we try to hoard or we worry about taking care of ourselves or what things are going to cost us, God goes and asks, "What do you have? How can you share what you have?" And God will bless it. And miraculously, there will be enough. Over and over, there are stories in Scripture, in the Christian tradition, and probably in your life, that just when you think there is not enough, if you place your trust in God, that somehow, there will be enough to get you through. Now, did Jesus give enough to everyone to eat for the next 5 years? No. Were they secure in everything? No. And sometimes I really want that. But Jesus did give them and the disciples enough for that moment. And that's part of the reason why I love what John shared with me, the chalice and paten. And I love that I think why this story is so important to those original Christianities and those Christian communities. because it is hard. I want to have surety that I will always have enough, and I'm scared that I don't. But God offers abundance, but maybe it comes in surprising ways. And so today, how can you share in God's abundance? How can you be a part of sharing God's abundance with others? Consider how God is calling you to live a life of abundance instead of scarcity. Have a blessed day.